Thank you, Matt, for having me. You know, I grew up in Iran as a Shiite Muslim, and all my life I was told to hate the Jews and hate Christians, hate Israel, America. And every morning in the school they told us to shout death to America, death to Israel. And this is how I grew up. In our textbooks in the school, we had like caricatures of Israeli soldiers looking very mean, killing the Palestinian baby and the baby's crying. So, you know, to create a hatred toward the Jewish people and Israelis, to demonize the Jews. And so this is how I grew up in the schools, in the media, you know, radio, TV, newspapers, propaganda against Israel and Jews. Yeah. So then I began to research, and I saw that everything that they were doing is exactly what the Islamic Sharia law teaches. So I lost my faith in Islam. I knew.
Were you religious as a young Muslim?
Yes, I was very devout. My whole family, my mother, my sisters, were devout. We were going to mosques. And as a Shiite Muslim, we used to go beat ourselves, you know, on the streets. And everything they told us that Israel is doing to Palestinians, the Islamic regime was doing it to us. But I knew there was a God, and I began to cry out to God, and I began to look for Him and search for Him. I said, God, if you're real, who are you? If you're not real, what am I doing here? So when I was 19, for the first time I heard about Yeshua, and in Iran it's illegal actually. The Bible is illegal.
Really?
Yes. Actually it's death penalty if you leave Islam and become a Christian. First time I said, no, I don't want this. This is another Western religion, you know, this is like the same family maybe with Islam. But God didn't give up on me. I keep hearing and hearing. And then eventually the third time I heard that Yeshua died for me on the cross and He rose from the dead. And if I believe in Him, I'll be saved. Eventually I opened my heart. I said, okay, Yeshua, if this is true, if you died for me and you rose from the dead, then come into my life, show me. I want to see. I don't want to be deceived again by another religion. And the moment I say that, the heat went through my hand, the warmth, it went through all my body. I began to shake and I started crying, and I felt this love I had never felt before. I felt this joy and this peace. It's like as if someone lifted 300 pounds of weight off my shoulder.
Was this still in Iran? Or
yes,
were you
still in Iran, yes. I just began to have this love for people around me, even for people who tortured me and hurt me. I began to forgive them and feel love. Eventually, I began to look for a New Testament for the gospel. And as I read from Matthew chapter 1 through Matthew 5, I began to cry. And I saw that the difference. I saw Jesus was a Jew from Israel. Yeah. And I saw that He says, love your enemies and pray for those who hate you and spitefully use you. And the contrast, you know, in Islam it says to kill those who don't believe in Allah, especially Jews and Christians. It curses Jews and Christians. And then here, Jesus is saying to bless people, to forgive, to love, to go the extra mile. It was completely different. So my life was completely changed. And God just put a love in my heart for Israel,